exercise, like you said, when I was a madman working out, I listened to Wayne Dyer and Zig Ziglar and audio while I was working out. Those words would just keep going over and over, and I would listen to the same programs over and over and over again.
You used to fall asleep to it.
Yes,
Yeah.
I did. Yeah, I still
There's
do.
like, yeah.
What knows that? I put on
Yeah.
like YouTube. That's the beauty of things like YouTube now is that you can. Melinda doesn't like it because
I'm
she
sure.
can't sleep
I'm
to
sure.
Someone's
No.
voice, but. I work it into my subconscious mind. So, Wayne Dyer was definitely one of my heroes. One of the guys that helped mold, shift, and change my life. Because here's what it came down to. I knew I was getting out of the machine shop. I didn't know how. I didn't know what I was going to do. But they kind of like the masters. They kind of held my hand and showed me the way. They showed me there's a better way. They showed me there's things you can do. The biggest the concepts of success that really can change your life for anybody listening is Melinda, you've heard me say this a million times. I don't know if you have, Sarah, but you can change who you are by changing what goes into your mind. That is, if I had to give one solid piece of advice to someone who was looking to make change in their life, change who you are by changing what you put into your mind. Like, just start listening to, start finding biographies of people who are successful. Find interviews from people. YouTube's a wonderful thing now. You could type in just about anything. I highly encourage everyone to start listening. Go listen to some things from Wayne Dyer. They're on YouTube. They're free. There's no excuses. You can hear some content that will just blow your mind, that will change your mind. And a good man, 75 years old. The odd thing, I subscribed to his podcast. And he had a podcast just a few days ago on August 27th.
Oh, wow.
He died on August 29th.
Wow.
And
Was he sick or anything? Oh, okay.
He did have leukemia.
Okay.
He talks about it that it's gone because of certain things that he did. I don't know if it's related. He died in his sleep. I can tell you the podcast that I heard, you never thought this guy was slowing down.
Right.
He sounded perfect. He sounded perfectly
How
fine.
old was he?
75.
75, okay.
And he, in fact, the sad thing is, one of the things he said on the podcast, he said that, this Sunday I have blah, blah, blah coming up. Sunday is the day he died.
Wow.
But you never would have known, I was like, so here we talk about Christy Clegg now. I was at dinner with Melinda and my parents, and I get a text, and she said, "Did you hear about Wayne Dyer?" And she sent me a emoji with tears.
Yeah.
And I just immediately was like, what? Because, I'm talking over 20 years of this guy has been in my life. I almost hesitate to say indirectly, like very directly. He's been a huge part of my life. And so I owe a lot to this guy. I owe a lot. I could quote him. I could go over his philosophies. I could talk about his beliefs, and I really can. Like, I know exactly what his mindset was. I know how he thought, how he taught. Very interesting guy with the greatest stories, and he was very much into just like, if you think this way, you're going to produce that. You're going to manifest that. He was really into that. Like, what you think about, you manifest in your life. He was one of the guys where I've talked about on a prior show where before I ever knew, when I started to change, Sarah, so you talk about like when I was exercising, I was still in the machine shop. I had no idea how I was getting out. I had no idea.
Like, here's my question. Did you feel like you were manifesting nothing?
At the time?
At the time when you were in the machine shop, you were manifesting to yourself, like, this is my life. This is where I am.
Yep.
This is my
now.
life.
I didn't back then.
Yeah.
But see, I was creating my life back then. We all are. So I was, back then, I was in the machine shop saying my life sucks, I hate my life.
But you were accepting it before the change. You were kind of accepting that.
And creating it. Accepting it and creating it. Think about it. When you wake up every day and you say, why does my life suck? Think about it like this. Your mind is a machine. It's a powerful machine. I'm telling you, everyone, you might be rolling your eyes. You might be thinking, no way. Listen to this, adapt this, adhere to this, and watch change happen. I promise you it will, okay? If you take action. If you just sit there and go.
That's the big one.
You got to take action. You can't be lazy. But I was creating my life, okay, without knowing it at the time. So I would wake up, my life sucks, I hate life. Why does my life suck? Why am I fat? Your mind goes to work and go, okay, his life sucks. Let's prove to him how his life sucks. He's fat. Okay, wow, all of a sudden I'm hungry for pizza. See, your mind it does.
That's my mind. Yeah.
Yeah, that's mine too.
Pizza, tacos.
Yeah, knock it off. Both of you.
What kind of show is this?
Yeah, I feel like I'm on The View all the time.
No.
What is this?
Ice cream.
What up, Whoopi?
Why do I gotta be Whoopi?
Why?
What up? I don't even know their names.
I don't
Who was the
either.
other one?
I don't even know who's on anymore. Don't they all
Elizabeth
switch?
Shepherd or something like that. Who thinks the world's
Oh,
flat?
Sherry Shepherd?
Yeah.
Is that her name?
I always was cracking up over that.
I don't know their.
She
I
literally.
don't know
I
if
heard
she's
this
still on
thing
it.
on
Really?
on Stern, and you think it's a joke. It's not. You again.
She
you talk
seriously
about
thinks
YouTube.
the
They
world is
asked
flat.
her.
Is that the
about
blonde
the world? No, the black.
The other-
woman.
the
heavy
heavier-
set.
Oh, okay.
The heavier woman that's having like that custody battle with.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
I don't know that much
She
about her,
thought
but yes, she literally thought. I don't know if she thought it was flat. She didn't know that it was round though, and they were asking her like, "How do you not know?" And she's like, "Well, I never thought about it. Like this is real. This is not a
Oh,
joke."
no.
So and then I always thought, "Are you kidding me? Like you have someone on." Public TV, a high-rated,
Yeah.
Yeah.
show, and
Yeah.
they're that dumb. I don't know anything about her, but if you don't know that the world's round at
Yeah.
this point, you really
I don't know
shouldn't
how to
be
defend that
on
one.
a
Yeah.
talk show, But that's my opinion. I don't think you should be on public radio if you don't know what the world. I mean,
And that's why Josh is not here
Yeah,
tonight.
yeah, right.
Josh also thought the Earth was flat. But yeah, you manifest. I strongly believe this. I don't think it's a gimmick. I don't think it just sounds good. I strongly feel that you create your world. So going back to that, when I was in the machine shop, having no idea what I was going to do, I talked about this last week, and this is very true. Sarah, you saw me. You
Oh,
saw
yeah.
who I became.
Oh, yeah.
Still in the machine
You
shop.
would like
I was like Superman.
you would have a lunch break and or you would tell me about it and I
Yep.
was like, well, what'd you do at lunch? I ran the stairs.
Yep, I absolutely.
And I'm like, what? And you're like, I ran the stairs. And then one time I had to, I was, I don't even know how old, 18, I think, when we had our first apartment. And so I was dropping off a rent check to you on your lunch break on a Friday or something because I would give you half
Yeah.
of the payment and you would just make the rent check, the payment or whatever. But so I was dropping it off to you on a lunch break and you were running the stairs. And I was like, this is what you do on lunch? And you're like, yep, every day on lunch, I run the stairs.
Yeah, now
Like
that
it-
wasn't who I used to be, though. That was during
right,
the change.
Right, during the change,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah.
And I remember the owner of that particular machine shop. That was actually not such a bad machine shop. That
Yeah.
was, okay.
Yeah, huh.
But I remember him one day, and I was running up the stairs, and he said, "I got to give you credit." This guy was a grumpy guy, though, too. He wasn't the type of guy that gave out compliments at all. But he said, I got to give you credit. Like everyone else at lunch sits around and whatever, and you're exercising. You're on your feet all day, and then it's lunchtime, and now you're running. Mm-hmm. And this is, I was losing the weight. I was making things happen. And
Yeah.
he said, "Why do you run every day?" And I said, "Because I'm getting out of here."
Oh my gosh, you
I
didn't
did.
tell him
Oh,
that.
I did. I
He was
did.
your boss?
Yep.
Oh.
And
What
then
did he say?
He, okay. He kind of walked away. But I knew, without a doubt, I was getting out of it. I knew that machine shop in particular, but that's where I was like job hopping and this and that. I worked there for a little bit, but that's why I said like the story, sometimes, the time frames aren't always going to connect perfectly, but for radio's sake, I got to shorten the story a bit. But, yeah. And then, so getting back to it real quick, the Wayne Dyer mentality, the thing that I was talking about is while I was still working in the machine shop, I absolutely envisioned in my mind working in an office, wearing a suit, wearing a tie, having my own office, having my own desk, my own computer, looking outside the window and seeing a pond. And that's where I work now. I never knew I was going to work there. I didn't even know that place. Well, I knew the company existed, but I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? So I manifested my world. I remember interviewing for the job with zero sales experience. And I was so confident and so not cocky, but confident because I knew I've got this. That the person interviewing me even said, like, "What's your biggest I can't even think of the word. What's your biggest?
Like your best trait or whatever? Or
yeah,
like
the
your
worst trait.
Oh.
He didn't say it like that. Well, I
What
can't
do
even
they
think of the right.
say?
Well, I know I can't.
Your fault, your
Yeah, something like
biggest
that.
fault or something.
Yeah,
like
I don't know why I'm
that,
having
or-
a brain fart right now.
Yeah.
But what's your weakness?
Yeah,
there you
okay.
go. I don't know why that was so hard to get out
I
of my
don't
head. What's your biggest weakness? But
Yeah.
see, maybe because I don't focus on weakness, maybe that's why.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But
That's
I'll use that as an excuse. And I said kryptonite, and he laughed. And I was like, first of all, I was thinking like, why would I tell you what my weakness is? I'm not going to tell you that. But I was so hyped, and then he happened to be a Superman fan, so we connected on that. You know, so but I had zero sales experience yet, and I told him, I said, within 6 months, I'm going to be top sales for what we're doing, and I've done it. You know, but it's not bragging. It's just I knew, like. I have the mindset now, if there's no door, I'm going to kick the wall down and I'm going to make one. I don't settle for Melinda knows some of my accelerated goals now. I'm constantly making goals. I'm constantly resetting goals. There's a big one now. And I'll sell it. I'll tell it publicly because I don't care. Like, I'm doing almost like double payments on my house because I have dreams. I have goals. I want to get out of here. I want things to happen. The only thing holding me back right now is the house payment. So I want to get that done with. I want to own my home. Then I hold all the cards. I can go wherever I want. I can do whatever I want to do. So it's like I'm hardcore going into paying my house off. Okay. But Wayne, getting back to you, let me finish this part of it because see what I told you. Look at what time it is.
Right.
See how fast time goes.
Right.
I'm telling you, man. You guys were nervous, and that's one of the things I was telling them. It goes by so fast that you forget, and you kind of forget you're on the radio. Like, are you guys having a good time now?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's actually fun. It becomes fun, and the nervousness goes away.
Yeah.
But just getting back to real quick, I just want to end this, but I just wanted to say, Wayne Dyer, I highly encourage everyone, including both of you, if you're looking for change, if you're looking for inspiration, on a deep spiritual level. I mean, this guy is not cheesy. He's not, you want to change your life, change your life. He is, I mean, he gives you real content, solid content, inspirational, like deeply inspirational, where you just, after you hear it, you sit back and go, wow, that is like really enlightening. He's very enlightening. He's very spiritual. He's very like, but it is all about manifesting your life, creating your life through your thoughts. Your thoughts become your reality. Thoughts are energy. He talks about that quite a bit. Like in his mind, and I know this because I know so much of his material, he's not dead. If you remember, Sarah, a few years ago, someone that you knew, they were involved with someone that had died, and they were there with them. And I don't know if you remember this specific event, but I totally remember it, where I said, and they were kind of brokenhearted over someone that had died because they experienced it. And I said, They didn't die. Their energy changed. Energy never dies. They're just in a different form. You can't kill energy. So they're somewhere else. They're doing whatever it is. Wayne Dyer highly adhered to that. Like, he's not dead. He's just wherever that next adventure is, whatever he's in a different. We are not our bodies. Our bodies, and this is Wayne Dyer, 100%. I'm stealing this from Wayne Dyer. Every cell in our body 7 years from now, I learned this from Wayne Dyer, it replaces itself.
I learned that from science, by the way.
Yeah.
I paid attention in school.
Yeah, I didn't. But the science part of it, that's from science.
Right,
but I'm talking about the way he explained it.
Right.
No, also the way he explained it.
Yeah.
This is our garage. This body that ages, this body that, like, there's not one cell in your entire body that was here 7 years ago. Not one. Okay?
Right.
So we are constantly recreating. But yet, can you think of a memory from when you were a little child, when you were 5 years old?
Yeah.
10 years old?
Absolutely.
How is that possible if every cell in your body has replaced itself? How can you still remember something from when you were 5 years old? It's because the energy still exists. You can't see that energy. You can't. If you break open atoms, or maybe not splitting atoms or neurons or whatever they are, whatever it is, I'm not the science guy.
Atom.
But if you split, maybe it is the atom, but atom. If you split an atom, that's nuclear or atomic bomb.
Well,
but whatever is
No.
even smaller than an atom or whatever it is, I don't. The smallest of the smallest, whatever that is. If you open that, there's nothing there. So how, you know what I'm saying? There's an invisible energy that we can't
Nuclei
explain.
or something like that.
I don't know, but
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't want to sound like too much like an
No,
idiot,
yeah, because we'll
I-
get emails like,
But
you guys are wrong.
there is
Yeah,
something. Wayne
yeah.
Dyer has talked about this, though. If you, whatever that is, the smallest of the smallest of the smallest, when that's split open, there's nothing there. It's air. It's nothing there. So how do you explain that? Like, what is that magic, that energy, so don't think of yourself as like when you're dying, you're getting older, there's energy that moves on. So, Wayne Dyer, definitely a mentor in my life, someone I could definitely say I love because the man changed my life. His words, Josh and I talk a lot about leaving a legacy behind. That's one awesome thing about Wayne Dyer. His words, his wisdom,